Welcome to toy-polloi.
Hello and welcome to another video from toy-polloi, and today we're going to take a look at Pippa by Palitoy and her pony and Gymkhana sets, as you can see here in front of me. Pippa was a doll that was released from 1972 by Palitoy here in the UK and was also released under a different name of Dawn in the US by a company called Topper, but the one I'm most familiar with is the Palitoy version of Pippa because Mrs. toy-polloi is a big fan of this doll and remembers having it and growing up with it when she was a child. So today we're going to take a look at one of the bigger sets that you could get for this toy line, and that is the Gymkhana Super Set that we have here in front of me. Now this set included a doll of Pippa in her riding outfit, a horse and a whole load of fences and other sort of bits that Pippa could jump over. Now this set was actually released as lots of different bits or as this giant Gymkhana Super Set. The basic Gymkhana set just came with the fences and posters you can see here on the left, and you could also buy the horse and Pippa separately. You could buy a box version of both of them. You could buy the horse on its own. You could buy a different version of the horse in a lighter sort of brown colour with Emma, which was another version of the Pippa doll. So it was available in a wide range of sets, but this one here is the Gymkhana Super Set, which was basically everything you could ever need for Pippa to go riding with. First up, we're going to take a look at Pippa and her horse. As you can see here, I have Pippa neatly sitting on top of her horse. Now, it's not the easiest thing to do is to get Pippa to sit on the horse because of the way the doll was designed. Really, her legs are not supposed to sort of splay out so they can sit on something like this. She does sit a little bit awkwardly, but if we take her off, you can see the sort of the details and quality in the doll itself. The outfits for these are always great. Palitoy made some fantastic outfits over the years for Pippa, and as well as the outfits they made for Action Man, which is how I sort of know Palitoy as a company. They always put a lot of detail in and a lot of sort of fine bits of sewing in that, and this little Pippa outfit, although it came with the horse, you could also buy separately in a carded sort of version. And much like the Action Man line of toys, you could collect petals on the back of the packets, as you can see here. And once you collected, it says here, 7 petals, you could get a surprise fashion outfit. And if you collected 8, they'd actually sell you a doll. So a very similar sort of mail-in offer as to the Action Man stars that were very popular when I was growing up. The pony is a little bit on the underwhelming side because it's just one cast bit of plastic. You can't move the legs or anything, although it does have the addition of a sort of a realistic looking hair, I'm going to say, for the tail and for the mane, but this is just the sort of nylon hair. And it comes with a saddle which is detachable using a little clip on the underside, and a bridle here which again is sort of a detachable thing, and a metal bit to go in the mouth. And there's one little bit of painting going on the front of the horse there. You can see a nice little sort of detail added to the front of the horse. The sculpt is actually pretty nice. It's a very nice sort of rendition of a horse. All the muscles and sort of bits are there. It looks pretty good. It's a shame they didn't add a little bit more detail to it, but as this is a very early 70s toy, this is what you would really expect at the time. And again, Action Man had a similar horse, obviously on a larger scale, again, which had no movement to it. It was just a one-off sculpted sort of design to it. As I mentioned, sitting Pippa on the horse is a little bit fiddly because you can bend her legs up so that she's sort of seated, and then really all you can do is sort of split them over the body of the horse and try and get her to sort of look like she's sitting. There are some stirrups here that do fit on the boots, but her arms, because they're so short, if I get her in a sort of racing position, she can't actually even reach the reins. So it's a nice idea, but it's just a little bit too short for her to hold on to. The fences that came in the Gymkhana set are actually pretty good because they enable you to recreate what would happen if you were horse riding. Everything is sort of loosely balanced on some pegs here on these little wooden frames, and if you were to jump your horse over and miss, you can actually knock these little poles off. So it's quite a good way for girls to sort of recreate the excitement of horse riding without actually horse riding. And I know this is something that a lot of girls do, and I know that Mrs. toy-polloi used to do this a lot with her set of this. Also included with the set was a small little sort of hedge section and a couple of little bushes in pots. Unfortunately, I don't have the bushes in the pots. That's something that we're still looking for, but I thought I would show you the rest of the set even with those missing. Now, I've always liked sets like this because I think they do give an awful lot of play value to a toy. Pippa, like Action Man, was great because you could buy multiple outfits for her and nothing was particularly expensive. The average price of an outfit was about £2 and the figures were not that much more than that, so any child could easily save up their pocket money and buy lots of costumes and play as they wanted to play. The Gymkhana set would obviously have cost more because there was a lot to it, and the Gymkhana Super set, because it came with a figure and a horse and costume and all of these bits, would have been one of the higher priced sets that you could have bought at the time, but it still offered a lot of play value and was really worthwhile getting. Pippa isn't really one of the most commonly found dolls here in the UK. Most people seem to collect Cindy's or Barbies, and when doing research for this review I actually could find very little information on the toys themselves, and there are no other videos on YouTube showing these dolls, which is why I thought I would start doing a few more different reviews on this YouTube channel, as I know most of my stuff is Star Wars and boy related stuff, but as we have other collections in this house I thought I would start showing some Pippa stuff. Even though this toy line wasn't aimed at me, it's a really nice set of toys. I think the dolls are particularly good because they're not too large. They're about the size of a He-Man figure, so about 6 inches tall. And because they're a smaller doll, they're actually pretty nice to play with, and you can do a lot more with them. And I know that Mrs. Toy-polloi and her sisters used to make clothes for their Pippa dolls, and even though they're so tiny, they managed to make some incredible little outfits for them. If you look on eBay to try and buy yourself some of these dolls, then they can be quite expensive. The dolls particularly go for quite high prices, but some of the sets that go with them can be a lot cheaper, and you can still find them out in the wild. We actually bought this set with the horse and all of the fences and a few other bits from a flea market fairly recently, and the whole box of stuff only cost £9. Some of it was broken and some of it I have restored if you've watched some of my other videos, but you can still find this stuff out there, and it doesn't have to cost the earth. The dolls, as I say, are a little bit more expensive, but you can still get those cheap if you look for long enough and have a bit of patience when you're searching for them. So I hope my review of Pippa's Gymkhana Super set has been of interest to you, and thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching toy-polloi. Subscribe for more great videos. You can also follow toy-polloi on Twitter and Facebook.